Good morning, students. In today's session, we are going to solve the numericals to determine paired and unpaired electrons. Okay. So before trying to solve the problem for paired and unpaired electron, you should be remembering the song to fill the number of electrons in every orbital. Hope you all remember the song. School, school, public school, Delhi public school, federal Delhi public school. You need to remember that particular song, then only this will be easy. Okay. The first element is fluorine. You know fluorine's number of electrons is 9. So I am trying to fill with each of these orbital. What is the first orbital? It is 1s. How many number of electrons does the s orbital can hold? It is 2. So 1s2. This is the maximum number of electron. After 1s you have 2s. So 2s2. So after 1s we have 2s. So we have written 2s2. So S shell 1s is completely filled, 2s is completely filled. In 9 if you subtract 4, remaining is 5. So I need to fill 5. What is the third level? It is 2p. How many electrons the p subshell can hold? It can hold 6. But what is my remaining? 5. So I have written like this. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have filled them. Now let me check the number of electrons present in each of these orbital. S is completely filled and now I have to check with P. So how will I write for 1s? This is 1s completely filled with 2 orbital. This is 2s completely filled with 2 orbital. Now P shell has 3. P shell has 3. 1, 2, 3. This is 2p. I need to fill 5 electrons. I am supposed to fill as per our Hund's rule. Okay, like each orbital should have at least minimum 1 electron each. So I have filled 1 each and then I am coming back. So the remaining 5 can be filled like this. Okay children, am I clear? So 1s, 2s, 2p. This is the order of the song which I have to fill the electrons. Since it is 9, I have accordingly filled it. S orbital is completely filled. When I move to P, P is having 5 electrons are present in P. So as per the Hund's rule, I have filled. Now how many unpaired electron is present children? Only one unpaired electron is present. So in fluorine the number of unpaired electron is 1. And see 9 minus 1 is 8. So 8 paired electrons are present. So 8 paired electrons are present. Clear? Now moving to P15. How to fill? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 6, 8, 10. So remaining 5 is there. 3s2, then 3p3. 3p3. Am I correct? 2, 4, 10, 12, 15. Okay, I have filled. Now you can make out S orbital is completely filled. P is completely filled with 6 electron. S is completely filled. Now I need to fill with 3p3. So how will I fill this? Since P is having 3 electrons, I have filled the 3 like this. There is no more electron, only 3 is there. So I have filled the 3 like this. So the number of unpaired electron in phosphorus is 3. When I subtract 3 from 15, what is the answer? I will be getting 12. So 12 paired electrons are present in phosphorus. Okay children, clear? Next, moving to nickel 28, let me start filling 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. So after 3p, I should not fill D, 3d, I should fill 4s2, then I should move to 3d. Now let me check 2, 4, 4 plus 6, 10, 12, 18, 20 and 28. Yes, I got. Okay children, I have filled the electrons. Again let me check 8, 10, 16, 18, 20, 26, 28. Okay, I have filled now. Now let me check completely filled, completely filled. P orbital is completely filled, 3s2 completely filled, 3p6 completely filled, 4s2 completely filled. And moving to 3d8. How many number of subshells are present in D? It is 5. So it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now as per Hund's rule, I am trying to fill each electron to each subshell. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay children. Now how many unpaired electrons are present? Unpaired electron is 2. If I subtract 2 from 28, then paired electron will be 26. Okay children. In 28, 2 are unpaired. So if I subtract 2 from 28, 26. So paired electron is 26. So this is how we have to determine the paired and unpaired electrons. So there are only 3 steps. You should know the atomic number value. Then you start filling the orbitals. Okay. Try to fill the maximum number of electrons in each subshell. S is holding 2, P is holding 6 and D is holding 8. You cross check the third step whether all are completely filled, and the last shell try to fill it up as per the Hund's rule, and how many number of unpaired electron is present, subtract it from this number, you will be getting the paired electrons. Okay children? Yeah, thank you. Yes children, our next step is to determine the lone pair and the bond pair present in electron. This is a shortcut to determine the lone pair and bond pair present in these atoms. Okay, I have given almost many examples. We'll try to solve all these. Before solving to determine the lone pair and bond pair, you should be aware of number of electrons, valence electron present. See, lithium has 1 valence electron, while beryllium and magnesium have 2 valence electron, and boron family has 3 valence electron. Okay, then carbon family has 4 electrons, valence electron, nitrogen family 5 valence electron, and oxygen, that is 6 valence electron, and halogens have 7 valence electron, and your noble gases, you all know they have octet configuration, so they have 8 valence electron. So you should be aware of this, then only it will be easy to solve the problems to determine the lone pair and a bond pair. See, let me tell you about bond pair. What is the definition for bond pair? The number of electrons which are bonded directly to the central atom is called as bond pair. Okay, clear? The number of electrons which are directly bonded to the central atom is called as bond pair. Okay. Now, in these examples, we'll try to find out the central atom. See, boron is central atom. Here, phosphorus is central. Here, this I3 minus can be written as I2. Okay, children, it can be written as I2 minus. And here the central atom is sulfur. Here it is fluorine. Here it is iodine. Here it is bromine, xenon, xenon, xenon. So we have identified the central atom present. Okay. Now, the central atom is boron. How many fluorine atom is directly bonded to boron? 3 fluorine atom is directly bonded. So the bond pair is equal to 3. Okay. Now, what is the valency of boron, children? The valency of boron is 3. So 3 hands of borons are available to form bond with 3 fluorine atoms. So the lone pair is 0. Okay, clear? We have identified the central atom as boron, and we saw the number of bonded pairs. The number of bonded pairs is nothing but which is directly bonded to the central atom. So 3 fluorine atoms are directly bonded to boron. So bonded pair is 3. And since how many hands, I am going to call valency as the available hands. Okay, 2 hands. So boron, like how we have 2 hands, boron is having 3 hands. So 3 hands are involved in forming a bond with the 3 fluorine atoms. So all 3 are completely involved. There is no any lone pair. So we have determined this. Next, in this example, BF4 minus. How many bonded pairs? There are 4 fluorine atoms which are bonded to boron. 4 fluorine atoms are bonded to fluorine. Okay. Now what is the lone pair? As I have already told you, the boron's valency is 3. 3 minus 1, so it is 4. Out of 4 hands, all 4 are involved in forming bond with 4 fluorine atoms. So here lone pair is 0. Okay. Now in this example, phosphorus. How many oxygen atom is bonded to phosphorus? 4 oxygen atom is bonded to phosphorus. So bonded pair is equal to 4. Now what is the valence electron present in phosphorus? Phosphorus have 5. 5 minus 3, so 5 plus 3, 8. See, when I will be getting a minus sign, when I am going to lose a proton, I'll be gaining negative charge, right? My negative charge is predominant. I have lost 3 plus, then I'll become 3 minus. 3 minus will be dominating because 3 plus charge I have removed from me, so 3 minus is left. Now the valency of phosphorus is 5. 5 plus 3 is equal to 8, correct. But you know about oxygen, oxygen always forms double bond with its pair. See, okay, it always forms double bond. That means 2 electron pairs are involved in oxygen, or otherwise I can say, as per our VSPR theory, double bond and triple bond, the multiple bonds are treated as single pair. Yes, no, they are treated as single bond. So since phosphorus valency is 8, 4 oxygen atom will form 8. Okay, one oxygen is forming 2 electron pairs, so 4 into 2, 8. So all 8 hands of phosphorus is involved, or it is occupied in forming a bond with the 4 oxygen atom. So lone pair is equal to 0. Okay children. Now moving to this one, I have divided I into I2. Okay. Now how many bonded pairs? 2 iodine molecule is bonded with central atom 1I. So bonded pair is equal to 2. Okay. Now what is the valency of iodine children? Iodine's valency is 7. One minus sign is there. So 8. Okay. So 8 minus 2 will be 6. What is 8 minus 2? 6. Should I write the 6 like that? No. See, each pair is 2. Since it is 6, the lone pair is 3. Okay children? Each pair is 2. So I am writing lone pair as 6. Okay, clear. Now oxygen. How many bonded pairs are here children? 2 oxygen atoms. So bonded pair is 2. What is the valency of sulfur here? The valency of sulfur is 6. Correct. So in 6 hands of sulfur, your oxygen has formed bond. How many oxygen are forming? 2 oxygen. And always I have told you oxygen will form double bond, right? So 4 is a remote. From 6, 4 is a remote. So what is the remaining? Lone pair is equal to 2. I don't need to write as 2. I can write as 1 because each pair is 2. So lone pair is 1. Okay. Now moving to ClF3. How many fluorine atom is forming a bond with chlorine? How many bonded pairs are there? 3. So bonded pair is equal to 3. Clear? Now, 3 fluorine atom is bonded to chlorine, so the bonded pair is 3. Now, what is the valency of fluorine children? It is 7. 7 minus 3 is equal to 4, right? Lone pair is equal to 4, but how will I write 4? 2 pairs, so I will be writing lone pair as 2. Okay, clear. Now, moving to the next problem. How many bonded pairs is present? This ICl2 minus is similar to this I2 minus. That's what I have divided this. So bonded pair is 2. 2 chlorine atom is forming a bond with iodine. Done. Now what is lone pair? What is iodine's valency? It is 7. Minus sign is there. So 8. 8 minus 2, 6. Correct? No, 8 minus 2, 6. But how will I write the 6? 3 pairs. So I will be writing that as 3 lone pairs. Okay children. Now moving to this problem, BRF5. So how many bonded pairs are present? 5. The bonded pairs are 5. And what is the valency of bromine children? It is 7. 7 minus 5 is equal to 2. So lone pair is equal to 1. Because 1 is equal to 2, right? Pair. When you consider pair, I am writing 1. Now in xenon F2, how many fluorine atom is bonded to xenon central atom? 2. So bonded pair is equal to 2. Okay. What is the valency of xenon? Since xenon is a noble gas, it should be 8. So what is 8 minus 2? 8 minus 2 is equal to 6. So lone pair is equal to 3. Okay, clear. Now in this problem, how many bonded pairs are present? 4 fluorine is bonded to xenon. So bonded pair is 4. And how many lone pairs children? Since it is a octet configuration 8. 8 minus 4 is equal to 2, correct? No, sorry, 8 octet configuration xenon should have 8. 8 minus 4 is 4. So I am writing 2 lone pairs. So 4 it is 2 lone pairs. Done. Now in this problem, xenon F6. Okay, how many bonded pairs? In F6, how many bonded pairs? I think you will not be able to see them. Okay, I am writing here children. Okay, these three problems, shall I write it here? Is it? Yeah, okay. It is ZeF6. Okay, children. So, how many fluorine atom is bonded to xenon? 6. So, bonded pair is equal to 6. And octet configuration, so 8 minus 6 is equal to 2. So, lone pair is equal to 1. Okay, clear? Now, this also I am writing here. Xenon OF4. Now, find out the central atom. Central atom is xenon. How many atoms are directly bonded to xenon? 4 fluorine atom and 1 oxygen atom. So, what is the bonded pair, children? Bonded pair is equal to 5. Okay. This is 4 and this is 1, 5. So, 5 bonded pairs. And what is the lone pair? Xenon's configuration is 8, no children? Okay, 8 minus fluorine 4. So, 8 minus 4 is 4. But oxygen is there. You know oxygen forms double bond. So, subtract 2. It is 2. So, lone pair is 1. Shall I repeat this again? Yeah. Xenon OF4. In this, I have identified my central atom. My central atom is xenon. Okay. How many atoms are directly bonded to central atom? That is called as bond pair. So, here 4 fluorine and 1 oxygen atom is bonded. So, 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. Bonded pair is 5. Now, let me check the lone pair. Since xenon's valency is 8, out of 8, 4 of its hands has directly bonded to fluorine. So, 8 minus 4 is equal to 4 and 1 oxygen atom has formed a bond. Oxygen forms 2 bonds. So, you minus 4 from 4 you minus 2. So, 2 lone pair. If it is 2 lone pair, then I will be writing that as 1. Okay, 2 electrons, so 1 lone pair. So, the last one will be, can I write here? Yeah, it is xenon O2F2. Okay, how many bonded pairs are present, children? See, 2 oxygen atom and 2 fluorine atom. I identified the central atom as xenon. 2 oxygen atom and 2 fluorine atom are present. 2 plus 2, 4. So, bonded pair is equal to 4. Now, how many lone pair? Out of 8 of xenon's configuration, 2 fluorine atom has paired. So, 8 minus 2 will be 6. In 6, 2 oxygen atom has formed a bond. We know for 1 oxygen atom 2 is involved. So, for 2, 4. So, 6 minus 4 is equal to 2. Then 1 lone pair is present. Okay, children. So, to determine the lone pair and bond pair, my first step is I should know the number of valence electron present in all these atoms. Like, you know, you should know this column very well. For that only I helped you to remember this. Okay, boron, aluminium, gallium, carbon, silicon, we know all this. Just try to recap how I helped you to remember these list of elements under each family. So, identify the central atom, then identify the bond pair. Bond pair is nothing but atom, the electron which is directly bonded to central atom. Then you try to determine the lone pair from the valence electron. Okay, children, hope you all have understood. If you have any doubt, let me know in the live session. Okay, children, thank you.